Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of 30 Minutes, the interactive program of Trust Television. My guest in this first edition in the new year is the Chief Executive Officer of NASENI, that is the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, Engineer Mohammed Haruna. Engineer, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Manir. It's good to be with you viewers at this time of the day. Thank you very much.
I know you are not just an engineer, you are also a professor, and then you are now heading this organization for the last several years.
Yes.
What is it that has made it to look as if it's the darling of the president, that's President Muhammadu Buhari, because it didn't seem to be getting that kind of attention previously?
Yes. Thank you very much, Manir. The National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, is established to be the foundation for Nigerians, not only technology progress and advancement, but that of transiting Nigeria from a consumer to a manufacturing economy.
So that is why the infrastructure bit of both the science
and engineering.
Yes.
It is understood that nations that are at similar economic, socio-economic development with Nigeria several years ago, and even those behind Nigeria in terms of advancement and natural resources, have overtaken Nigeria. Despite our rich natural resources, despite our export aiming, at one time one leader said Nigerian problem is not money. And the level, the standard of living, or you can say poverty, and a lot of issues, a lot of socio-economic challenges are facing the country that are becoming almost unsurmountable, despite God-given talent. The missing link, of course, for Nigeria is that we miss along the way of our developmental progress. The founding fathers or the leaders of Nigeria before and at independence have foresight on how Nigeria should develop. They have what we call import substitution program in such a way that a lot of factories, textiles, assembly plant for vehicles, motorcycles, consumable beverages, all that we will need. Nigeria was assembling even vehicles with a program that before 15 years, Nigeria will have manufactured its own model, its own version.
So the idea is to try to manufacture some of these things locally, so that you have jobs locally instead of exporting the jobs to the countries where you import all sorts of things, from food items to intricate engineering materials.
Exactly.
But what specifically was it that attracted the attention of the president? Because it appears that the president is the chair of your agency, while you are the executive vice chairman.
So I'm giving you this foundation. Now the president has that challenge of why is it that we continue to be consumers? What is the solution? Again, the revenue of the country is dwindling or has dwindled. In fact, we are having so much the challenge that the country was economically distressed. So President discovered that when he was in his first tenure in office in 2015, we presented what NASENI was doing. We went to him with samples of equipment we are producing in our system, and also videos of our production processes. At that time, there were no ministers, permanent secretaries were giving him briefing. The president announced that it is today that he has received briefings. All along, people were disturbing him with volumes of report, some of which are not even verifiable. But now he has seen tangible. And he has announced, since by law I am even the chairman of this agency, I will not allow anybody to chair. Now, in 2015, he asked us to propose all that it's required to move the country forward. He was happy. He doesn't know Nigeria can manufacture this and is producing that. Now, along the way, we are not able to meet with him due to so many challenges. When he himself discovered us again in the sense that we went to exhibition of military hardware, the component of defense.
Okay, you also do defense-related items.
Exactly.
Yes.
As he was going around to inspect facilities, then he came across Naseni's product. He said, but Naseni, I told you to do ABCD to meet me since we say, yes, sir. He was so unhappy that has not been done due to some bureaucracy that block us and stop us from seeing the president over these years. Because the thing is there in his heart, he remembered all that. He abandoned the program. He didn't even address the gathering as it was scheduled. He said, let's go to my office. Give me briefing. Why did you not continue?
So, but since that time to now,
yes,
what specific things have you done? I know there are reports about you trying to do helicopter and a number of other things. What specific things can you itemize that you've done?
Through the leadership of Mr. President, we're able to turn our research and developmental activities in solar module into a fully pledged government limited liability company, manufacturing solar modules and all solar components. Again,
and are they available in the market now?
They are available in the market.
How do they compare in terms of prices? Because that is one of the sore points.
Okay, our price is high. The reason is that our quality is high. Our quality is world standard. Those who knows quality, who want quantity, they prefer to come and buy our own products. Those who want cheap services and things like that are not coming to us. Let me
but
say
you are supposed to compete in the market. So if in the market you have this disadvantage, isn't it a big drawback?
We have this disadvantage, but we know how to take care of the disadvantage. The disadvantage is because the cells, what we call solar cells,
the photovoltaic
cells that is used in producing the panel, where we import it from different parts of the world.
You are not yet able
to manufacture. However, the president has given approval. Processes are on to establish manufacturing facilities. And the interesting thing, Manir, is that these cells are produced from silicon. Silicon is from silica, and silica is from sand. In other words, this raw material is almost free of charge. So by the time we produce our own cells, our price will be better, and it will be affordable. We will be able to give cost of installing solar power that no one has seen that affordability and cheapness in the past.
So apart from the solar panels and accessories, what other thing have you?
We have, under President Buhari, been able to do pace made in Nigeria tricycle. Our tricycle is so standard in such a way that it's suitable for our environment. We have even done the solar panel, the tricycle, the one that
is solar powered.
Is solar powered. The one that is with tipper, that just the way the tipping, it can tip off and offload. The one that can carry some crane, that it can pick the load and load it and offload it itself.
But then still the same question. Is it competitive? Does it compare to the Indian and other imported brands that are in the market?
Indian doesn't even have this brand that has this model, the one that can thief. We have not seen it. However, already what will make it competitive is to have commercial production. We have advertised, and through the bidding process, Innoson Motors have won the bidding, and we have agreement with them. They are about completing installation of a new production line that can mass produce this our product. In that arrangement, the federal government of Nigeria through Naseni has 30% stake in the turnover of the manufacturing process. We believe.
Does it have to provide funds to own those percentage?
No, our own provision is our own know-how. We have no monetary contribution. The patent is our own. That is what represents our 30%. It is our design, and it is standard design. We did the prototype, so therefore that is our share in that venture, which is a good one. Also, smart meter. MoMA meters, manufacturers of
electricity
meters.
Which is a big problem in Nigeria, because the power distribution companies appear to like estimated bills instead of the metering.
Exactly, and any meter you see is an imported component. So 100% made in Nigeria meter, inshallah, is in the market now, but not in enough quantity, because also the production facility for mass production, with facility granted by Bank of Industry, MoMA's meter in Lagos is establishing this manufacturing. Again, that is Nasani's invention.
Is it competitive in pricing?
The price will be competitive as soon as is mass produced. But
why I keep hammering on this point is because you see, you are in a market, and so long as you cannot compete, it will be a brilliant idea that remains in the lab.
You see, Manir, the problem is that everywhere in the world, government provides some subsidy. Government patronizes its products in order to encourage and even close the borders and say ABCD should not be imported because we can produce locally. They do this in China, they did that in India.
Well, Nigeria has done it with rice.
And it's successful. So that is, we have to reach a level where we do that. We can from day one, before we commence substantially manufacture things inside and allow our market to global competition. It's not healthy.
But I understand that there are also issues to do with trade agreements to deal with.
Yes.
Because you are supposed to not allow, prevent other goods from coming into your country.
Because we are depending on other people. Certain things, no one, everybody at one time or the other has closed his border. I assure you that despite the pre-market and all that, there are certain categories of phones. You can import Huawei telephone to America. The leaders in the capitalist market system. So you must close your border to a certain things to happen, to encourage local manufacturing. But with Executive Order number 5, and also that number 6 of the federal government of Nigeria, if it can be guaranteed that certain products are available locally, government may not close the market, but at least the public sector can have embargo on importation of patronizing foreign products, but patronize Nigerian products. And certain discouragement like custom duty on certain items, government is willing to impose in such a way to promote capacity and competitiveness of the local manufacturers.
At this point, I think we'll go on a short break and resume the discussion when we come back. Viewers, it is 30 minutes, the interactive program of Trust Television. I am Manir Dan Ali. And our guest today is Engineer Mohammed Haruna, the Chief Executive of NASENI, that is the agency that is trying to get Nigeria on the map of manufacturing in terms of science and technology. Welcome back. It is 30 Minutes, the interactive program of Trust Television, and our guest today is the Chief Executive of NASENI, that is the body in charge of science and engineering infrastructure in Nigeria, Engineer Mohammed Haruna. Before we went on break, yes, you are telling us about the different products that you've actually like patented and are in the process of trying to mass produce products in solar, products in terms of the tricycles and other items. Where do you get the funds to do all this?
The statutory funding of NASENI has started coming. In the past, NASENI survived. We are still on that by providing services, repairs, maintenance, installation, mostly to private sector.
Okay, you provide service to private sector, and you charge and get payments.
Including media trusts. We install generators to media trusts in the past. Repair and maintain generators for media trusts. That was the things I was doing as a line of business while teaching in the university, in the polytechnic. I maintained these activities of my specialty. So when we came to the agency and discovered here is a place with potential, but denied of funds. Within my tenure, there are 3 years we receive no kobo as capital. Sometimes overhead can take 4 months before we receive. Then I said, under my watch, the agency will not collapse. So we venture into providing that services, not only for our survival, even remitting some IGR to government within the period.
Okay, so you are like JAM. You've been paying money into the government account.
Of course, not to the volume of JAM, but
in hundreds of millions.
Exactly. So when we made presentation to the president, and he actually discovered, and he asked to establish ABCD, how much money do you need? I said, we don't need anything. He said, I don't understand. Why will you not? I said, what do we only need from you is approval of our statutory fund, which was never provided in the 31 years of existence of the agency.
Yeah, because the agency came into existence since 1992, but I think with a different name.
No, the same name.
Okay.
It has never changed. Yes. So the president approved of it. We went through processes. In 2022, January 2022, payment of NASENI's statutory fund commenced.
And that is 1%.
1%
from the federation
of whatever is due to federation account.
That is a lot of money.
A lot of money. However, due to challenges and some politics, we have never received that fully 1%.
So the somebody somewhere edits the amount, or they tell you that the government doesn't have the funds to pay that statutory amount?
Because it's the approval of Mr. President from the beginning. Of course, we went through processes. It was approved in 2020, but we only commenced receiving it in 2022. After we went back to the president several times complaining that we are not in receipt. So in January 2022, it was inserted in the budget as baseline charge. So what we are receiving is what is approximated as 1% of federal government share of the federation account. That
not 1% of the entire federation account before states and local
government and derivation. Yes. So, and what we are receiving is an estimate of about 18% of 1% of the federation account.
But still better than nothing.
Well, it's better than nothing. I can assure you that in 10 years of my tenure, 1 month funding of Naseni is more than the entire 10 years that the agency has received under my leadership. And that is the reason why so many innovations are coming out, so many products. Among the products we love to say are the one in the agriculture, the farm implement.
Because I wanted to say, with the way we are still farming in Stone Age kind of thing, still with horse. You go to trade fairs about agriculture and what you see are horse, other implements that need a lot of physical labor, and many young people will not be interested in that kind of activity.
Exactly.
So what exactly are you doing in that area?
In the area of agriculture, we are now committed to making farming more attractive and more beneficial. What we do now, we are training people across the world. We have partnership with some leading agricultural friendly countries like Jordan, Morocco, Czech Republic, even up to Indonesia. Now, on ourselves, we have invented so many equipment to make cultivation easier, to make planting easier, to make weeding, harvesting, processing, even preservation.
And you have specific products for these different farming activities?
All these aspects.
And they are available. For example, you have maybe a mini tractor that costs less than ₦1 million.
The mini tractor, we are trying to make them cheaper now, because up to now we are assembling instead of manufacturing every component ourselves. We produce certain part, but the engine and other things are imported. What will make that affordable and cheaper, competitive, is when our steel sector, our steel industry, for the flatbed and every half. As long as we continue importing the flat sheets, importing some component, even though certain component of iron, despite the non-performance of steel industries, we produce ourselves, because we have invented rotary furnace, induction furnace, in which we recycle scrapped iron, scrapped metal, scrapped engine block, and have liquid iron, liquid steel, liquid aluminum, and then pour it into molds produced by ourselves to give us different shapes of component. But this is limited in size.
Do you have, say, a combined harvester?
We have combined harvester.
And it's operational?
It's operational.
Working?
It's working.
Only one, or you have quite a number?
No, we have quite a number. However, it's not our original design. We reverse engineer. You can say backward integration.
Yes.
Other people's products that we
like what
dismantle.
The Chinese have done.
Exactly.
And even the Japanese to some extent.
And we have two companies, one in Czech Republic and one in Jordan, that they have agreed to teach our young staff the processes of designing and producing these different products. They are currently undergoing training. And in fact, God willing, tomorrow I will go and witness graduation of those in Czech Republic by Thursday. And they have done wonderfully. They are doing very well. That is our
remember
method.
We used to import razor from Czech Republic.
From Czech Republic.
Czechoslovakia, when they were together with Slovak Republic. I don't know whether, do you do razors? Have you stopped, made us to stop the importation of simple items like razor?
We have made us to stop importation of things like cutlass, like matches, like shovel, that are from our industry. We are in the process of making us to stop importation of power transformers.
I see you've gotten people trained in China.
Exactly. To manufacture.
When are we going to see the first transformer?
Our transformers are in the market. Okay. However, not in enough quantity.
And very highly priced, I imagine.
No, competitive prices.
Okay.
Yes, the price is within the range.
What about the helicopter you keep seeing in the news?
Yes.
Will it fly? And when will that happen? Because I see they're saying before the end of this administration.
Our helicopters are flying. Yesterday, we flew one from Karshi and relocated it to Air Force Base in Kaduna, to the Air Force Institute of Technology, where our Air Vehicle and Aeronautic Development Institute is situated. Now, it's not that it cannot fly, but the challenge we have is flying. However, it's not made in Nigeria helicopter. It's a knockdown component purchased from different places and assembled in Nigeria as a helicopter. To make our own helicopter completely, we're in the process.
And it will take how long? Just briefly.
Briefly, God willing, by 2023, before the end of the year, all will have been completed.
One final question before you go. All these wonderful things happening, do you fear them being sustained either after you leave or after this administration leaves? Because, I mean, you related the experience you've had.
Yes. You are asking me the same question the president asked me when he came to Naseni and inspected. He asked me on one-on-one, Haruna, how do we sustain this even after our administration? How can Nigeria sustain this? I said, I'm training young people. I say, not just only training. We don't lack capacity, the leadership. He said, go and develop a blueprint for me on what we need to do to guarantee continuity of this. So our own approach now is to ensure whatever we are researching from day one, we have private sector that is interested, that can market this and agree to also invest in doing that. With private sector, you can guarantee continuity.
Thank you very much, Engineer Mohammed Sani Haruna.
Thank you very much
for the very interesting conversation.
Thank you for this interaction, Manir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Viewers, we've come to the end of this edition of 30 Minutes. Keep a date with us.